We all have an idea of what justice looks like or should look like. A person commits a crime, they're punished. The punishment fits the crime. It's a fundamental principle that makes us feel safe. It's a foundation of society you can trust, especially when you move to a foreign country, let's say Italy in this case. But what happens when the foundation cracks? What if a legal system in a beautiful historic country punishes a simple financial mistake more than a violent act? What if the most dangerous thing you can do is not to harm another person, but forget to pay a tax? In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on a bizarre legal paradox of Italy that will challenge everything you think you know about safety and justice here in Italy. And maybe you're not going to like Italy this much by the end of this video. For years, we've helped international clients navigate the Italian system. And what if discovered a system that seemed to have few wires crossed? It's almost as if the legal code was written with a different set of priorities than the rest of the world. Let's start with a crime that should terrify you: armed robbery. Imagine a scenario. A man, let's call him Vincenzo, enters a small local grocery store or negozio di alimentare with a knife. He threatens the elderly owner, takes a few €100 from the cash register and runs away. No one is hurt, but the owner is terrified. The police catch Vincenzo a few days later. The maximum penalty for armed robbery in Italy is around 10 years in prison. But let's be realistic. What actually happens? If Vincenzo has a clean record, and is the first-time offender, a good lawyer could argue for a reduced sentence. They can ask for a deal. They can argue for house arrest. A few years in prison, maybe less. Maybe he gets out after a year or two on good behavior. He might even get a suspended sentence and never see the inside of a cell. Why? Because the system is designed to be forgiving. It focuses on rehabilitation. It wants to give people a second chance. On the surface, it sounds pretty noble. But in practice, it means that a crime that puts a person's life and safety at risk is not always taken as seriously as you might expect. Now, let's take a look at another situation. Different person, let's call her Elena. Elena is a designer from the US. She's been living in Italy for a few years and she made a mistake. A big mistake. She did not declare all of her foreign income. Maybe she thought it was complicated, maybe she forgot a deadline, or maybe she just didn't understand the rules. But let's say she did an income of, say, 100,000. That's a lot of money. The tax she owes around 40,000 on that. To the eyes of the tax agency, Agenzia delle Entrate, she's a tax evader. Now, what's the penalty for this? According to the Italian law, if you hide income and your tax evasion exceeds a certain amount, which is relatively low, it's not a civil offense, it's a criminal offense. The penalty for this crime? A prison sentence. Yes, a prison sentence for tax evasion. The punishment can range from 2 to 6 years in prison. And there are almost no deals. No suspended sentences and no second chances. The law is very clear and very strict, very sharp about this. Do you see the problem? Vincenzo, the armed robbery, might get a lighter sentence or just a slap on the wrist. But Elena, who harmed no one, who simply made a financial mistake, in good faith, faces a serious risk of going to prison. The system, the Italian system itself, seems to value money over human safety. It says, you can threaten a person's life, but don't you dare mess with our tax revenue. Let's take another example, a very common one. Someone driving a car, a scooter, drunk. Let's call him Marco. Marco has a little too much to drink, gets on his scooter and gets in an accident. No one, is seriously hurt, but there's property damage. The police gives him an alcohol test. It's over the legal limit. So what happens? The punishment for drunk driving in Italy is a fine, a suspended driver's license, maybe some social service work. But jail time, very rare, unless there's serious injury or death. For a simple incident with no injury, it's almost, penalties. Now let's compare with or to our tax evader. Our person who didn't pay their taxes, let's say their penalty with interest and fines, pushes them to a certain limit of tax owed, for example, over 50,000 euros. In Italy, this might be considered serious crime. The punishment is a prison sentence of 4 to 8 years. This is a real danger. Do you see the crazy comparison? A drunk driver who puts everyone on the road at risk gets a slap on their hands. A person who messes up with their taxes and owes the government money can face serious jail time. It's like the government is saying, well, we will protect our money, eagle eyes, but we will protect your life, maybe? This is not just about defending tax evasion, it's about a messed up system of priorities. A system that makes it feels like it's not about making its citizens safe, it's about protecting its revenue. This is a reality of living in Italy. It's a beautiful country, don't get me wrong, with a nation soul, but its legal system is modern, focused on just one thing: the finances of the state. This is why we exist. A normal lawyer can help you if you get into an accident. A normal lawyer can help you with a contract. But a normal lawyer often doesn't understand the bizarre, almost irrational, nonsense way the Italian tax code connects with criminal law. They don't see the big picture. They don't see the silent threats that are far more dangerous than the obvious ones. We've told you these stories not to scare you, but to inform you. Because as we've learned from the best strategists, tax strategists all around the world, we cannot be seen until you learn to see. And you cannot protect yourself from a threat you don't even know exists. The Italian legal system is a beautiful paradox, and you need an expert to navigate it. You need someone who can see not just the law, but the way the law actually works in practice. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start knowing, if you want to protect your financial life and gain true peace of mind, we're here to help you.
At Studio Rigo, we provide tax and strategic guidance for those navigating international complexity with significant interests in Italy. We work quietly, precisely, and always with the long term in mind. If you expect nothing less than clarity and control, you'll know where to find us. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.